Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I get the SATvan ready for the road. What's going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Stuff and Things. I'm going to start by apologizing for the lack of videos last week. I was gone, pretty much off the grid, no cell reception, no internet from like Tuesday till today, Sunday. I was up north doing an annual trip in the van, and the van has been awesome so far. So today what I'm going to be doing is getting this thing ready for a turnaround trip. I'm going right back to where I came from in about a day and a half. I'm gonna try to catch up on some videos and bring you guys some things that I've been wanting to show you for a while I'm here at home. And I figured some of you may be interested in seeing how I get this thing ready for going on trips. I'm gonna be gone for about 5 or 6 days starting on Tuesday when this video is going live. And there's a little bit of work that I need to do to get this thing ready to be livable again, at least up to my standards for the next like 5 or 6 days. I'm really going to just jump right into this. One of the first things that I always do before a long road trip is clean everything. From this perspective right now, it doesn't look too dirty, but once you get over to my driver's side there's mud everywhere. I gotta clean the seats a little bit. I gotta clear everything out of the whole driver's area that I don't want or don't need with me. The outside of the van, it's muddy. There's a ton of mud caked in here, but honestly, I'm probably going right back to where it's going to be really muddy again, so I don't think I'm going to clean the outside for this trip. Now, coming to the inside, I already got my bug screen reinstalled here. And like I said, there is mud all over the place. I already got some cleaning supplies ready to go. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of gross. Back here, I need to wash all of the bed sheets and things like that, and then sweep everything out, clean out the fridge, clean out the bathroom. There's a lot to do, so let's jump right into that. I don't know if I've ever shown this in the video, but in the very back, underneath the bed area where you keep all of your cargo, I have one of these mats. This is called a moon mat. I've gotten some questions about it before, but I found them at a music festival a long time ago. They're made out of this like really squishy, spongy material. It's actually excess from making earplugs, and it feels really cool to stand on, but I throw it in the back there to keep down any kind of vibrations and noises, and it helps prevent things from sliding around. It's not really what it's designed for, but it does a good job of it. This is what the van looks like now when there's absolutely nothing inside of here. What's cool is that you could actually spray this out if you wanted to. You can see all the mud and everything here, but I'm just gonna climb in here, sweep everything out, and then vacuum it if I need to. What's really nice about these Sprinter floors is that once you get them vacuumed and brushed out, any remaining mud that's in there can simply be cleaned up with something as easy as Clorox wipes. Sounds pretty ghetto, but I clean a lot of the van with just these things. And just like that, the floors are as good as new. All right, quick update. Pardon the noise. I have all the fans on because it is super hot in here. But shoes off at the door because everything is now completely swept out and mopped with my Clorox wipes. Everything up here is cleaned out, ready to go. Seats are vacuumed. This seat is cleaned all the way in the back. The moon mat is back down after I swept that out. And the sheets and the pillowcases and everything are in the washer now. This is actually one thing that I didn't really show in any other video, but this is the stock mattress in the Winnebago Revel right here. What I did is I went to, I believe, Walmart, and I got this 3-inch memory foam pad. I think this was for a full size, maybe a queen. And what I did was I laid, I think, some cardboard in here to sort of make a template, and then just sort of cut out the notches here around the belts that lift up the bed. Same thing on the other side here under the rest of the blankets and pillows and stuff, and this thing fits pretty snug. It's a little bit weird putting a fitted sheet around here. However, this is super comfortable now. It's actually more comfortable to sleep in this bed than it is my sleep number, so definitely a big fan of that. Now moving back to the front, I still have to clean the kitchen, the sink, the fridge, all my storage for food, and then the bathroom. This is gonna kind of suck, so hopefully we can speed past this part. All right, step one is done. The van is clean everywhere on the inside, underneath everything, inside and outside of the drawers, the walls. I even cleaned the ceilings. Everything is good to go. Step two is to load all of my gear back inside of here, and I promised that I would let you guys know like what type of gear I bring with me. So all of this stuff that I'm going to load in right now, I'm gonna show you as I do it, and this is basically like the bare essentials. This is everything that I pretty much will always have in the van, no matter what circumstances there are. Now let's start off with these black tubs. Gear organization is super important, especially in a van like this. So this one is relatively boring. I have a battery jumper cable thing that my friends got me. You may have seen that from a mail time video. Got like toilet paper and stuff like that. A sewer gasket if I ever have to drain the gray tanks, which I really don't ever have to do. I got some other RV accessories, a tire iron, a little, what is this stuff even called? I don't know, stuff to fix the countertop if I ever drop anything on it like I already have. And then I got these little toss-in septic things for the cassette toilet, and I will show you how to empty that in a little bit. The next tub, this one has a lot more important stuff in it, and I leave this one on top because I use it more frequently. One is the extended spray hose, which you saw me use earlier. And then also in here I have all of the manuals for the Winnebago if I need to figure out how anything works. Obviously, I know how everything works already. I got my fresh water hose, which I will be using here in a second, so I'll show you guys how to fill the tanks today too. And then I got my power cable with a bunch of different adapters for whatever situation I'm presented with when I'm out on the road. Then in these other containers over here, this one is my kitchen stuff. Nothing too exciting here. Some pots and pans, dish soap, cups, plates, whatever. Then in this other black tub here, I have a bunch of range stuff. I'm not gonna be bringing this with me because I'm not shooting where I'm going, but I might as well show it to you anyway. We got Target, spray paint, rangefinder, bench rest, some tools, some cleaning stuff, stapler, typical range items. And over here, got my laundry basket. I've got the leveling blocks, which I showed this in a previous video. And then I have this milk crate type of thing where I have some REI macro chairs, the FlexLight chairs. I have my one wheel stand. This actually lives in here because I pretty much always bring my one wheel no matter where I'm going. And then I got my Eno hammock and the Atlas straps to go along with that. That's pretty much it for the back. Now let's take you guys inside. All right, sorry again for the loud fan. Let's actually turn this off for now. I pull the front shades over, which I kind of ghetto rig. You probably saw that in a previous video. Keeps it a lot cooler in here, and all they are blackout curtains and a tension rod up top. So as far as gear goes in here, this is where I keep all my camera stuff. You guys have probably seen this before. I just have a little little camera insert, which you can throw in backpacks. I actually have two of these. So this is my main one, and then I also have another one that goes here for GoPro accessories and things like that. Again, keep in mind that this is just like bare essential stuff up here. Really don't have a lot. This is where I'm gonna be keeping my food. Got some dental floss, I got straws, and I got some mac and cheese. I need to restock the paper towel roll down here. This is like the junk drawer. I got a phone charger in case I need to charge my phone on the road, playing cards, little USB fan, and some cigars. This is my cleaning drawer. This is typically where I have my soap, lint roller, my little dust brush thing, which I sweep the entire van out with. I got the fan controller up here if I'm in bed at night. And then also with the paper towels, I need to get more Clorox wipes. And then again, down here is just like another kind of junk drawer, just some miscellaneous items. I got the flashlight charger, which I keep in the back. Got a charger for a little speaker, sunblock, tools and stuff like that. I really don't need a whole lot. Got a lighter. Sweet. Over here, another essential that I keep behind the driver's seat are plastic bags. If I go grocery shopping or stuff like that, I hang them up either over here or in the bathroom to use as garbage cans. Fridge, there is nothing in here. I will need to fill that up before I leave. And then back here, just my bedding and things like that. I still need to get those out of the washer and dryer. And here, the bathroom is all clean now. I will have my towels and stuff hanging in here. It's where I leave them dry. So nice and clean now. And that is pretty much it for the bare essentials in the van. Speaking of that stuff being done, timer is going off, which means I need to move the stuff over into the dryer. I will be right back. All right, we're back. Now that the gear is loaded up in here, everything is clean. The next step is to get the house portion of this ready to go. Luckily, I don't have to plug it in or do anything like that. It's sitting in the sun right now, so this thing is completely charged. I don't have to worry about that. One of the places that I'm going, it actually has water and electric, so I don't technically need to do anything right now, but I'm gonna show you guys how to work with these systems here if you're interested or unfamiliar with it, whatever. So the Winnebago Revel has a 21 fresh gallon tank and a 21 gray water tank. There is a 5-gallon cassette toilet in this door right here. So the only thing that I'm really gonna do right now is empty these gray tanks, which is all located right below this door to the cassette toilet. Now, typically you're probably going to be doing this at some sort of dumping site. I, however, am on my own land, and I know that since this is just gray water, I've showered in it twice, and I cleaned the shower, cleaned the sink, did stuff like that. There's really only going to be gray soapy water coming out of here, so I'm just gonna dump it right here into the rocks without a hose or anything like that. There is a place to store a hose in the rear of this unit, and I have used that before because obviously when you go to an RV site, you don't wanna just be kinda dumping on the ground. Frowned upon pretty much everywhere you go. So in that case, I would remove the hose, hook this thing up, go to wherever you actually dump it, and do it the right way. For me, this is way easier, and this is going to be the best way to do it. So right here is a release valve on the left-hand side. What you're gonna wanna do is make sure that is pushed all the way in first, or you're gonna have water flying out at you here. There are 4 little clamps on here. Simply spin that off. It's all muddy and already dripping some water there. And then I will step back as I pull this lever and remove all of the gray soapy water. So it's pretty much as simple as that. I think I used about 1/3 of my fresh water in the tank here. So now the gray water is going to be empty. I'll let this thing kind of drip here for a little bit. And you know what? While I'm here letting this thing drip, let's talk about the cassette toilet for a second. Okay, so how does this work? This is something that everyone tries to avoid. They're like, oh my God, it's so gross. When I show you this, you'll understand that it's really not that bad. You got a key, which I keep on the inside. This thing always stays with the van. Put it in here, turn it, press these 2 little buttons, and then the door swings open like that. This is what you're greeted with on the inside. Nothing too gross or disgusting about it. All you have to do is pull up on this little blue latch here, and this entire thing slides out. There's a handle on the top. Now there's really not a whole lot in this thing. All it is a simple swivel valve over here. You pop this blue cap off, and then there is a vent button right here. It has wheels and a handle. You can wheel this thing into a truck stop bathroom and literally dump it into a toilet, flush it, and you're good to go. I will typically dump this and then spray it out and dump it again. And if you're doing this, you obviously have to do it at an appropriate location if you're not taking this into a toilet. But for now, I have one of those sanitary packet things inside of here, so there is a little bit of water mixed with it, keeps the smell down, keeps things somewhat clean as something like this could be. So I'm really not gonna empty this or do anything with it today. I'm simply gonna put that back in the correct direction, slide it back, and it will clip into place just like that, and you're good. And while we're down here, gray water is now done dripping. Gonna put this cap back on, and that's about it. I'll go wash my hands now. All right guys, now moving on to the final piece of getting the living portion of the SATvan ready to go for this next trip. I'm gonna be topping this thing off with water, and one of the things that I do, but I probably don't really need to do, is I do use a fresh water hose like this one here. I could probably use any garden hose. I'm just filling up with a regular spigot here at the house. I don't drink this water, however, you probably could just drink it straight from the hose. It is definitely well water and it should be fairly clean. For the most part, I don't drink the water, but if I do want to drink the water from my sink, I can fill up some Nalgene bottles, and then I have a Brita filter, and I have this whole filtration thing that I can use if I don't have bottles of water. So the first thing I'm gonna do is hook this end up to the spigot. Now I will connect this end to the van, and I'll bring you guys in. On the other side of the van, there is the city fill, so if I want to plug this thing in and leave it in and have constant water pressure, you can do that, but then obviously your tanks are gonna fill up, so you have to have that routed to get rid of the wastewater. This is just to fill the tanks like normal, and then also inside the bug screen here is a gravity fill if you want to just kind of dump water in. So I'm gonna connect this up. It shouldn't take long to fill the tanks because I'm probably at, like I said, probably about 1/3 lower than it was. This goes on, you can hear it filling up the tanks. And then if I come inside, I will click tank level. It's kind of hard to tell, but the fresh water was actually at 1/3 of a tank, and the gray waste tank is on empty because I just emptied it. Now I can sit here and keep an eye on this, but I generally know that it takes, I'd probably say like 3 or 4 minutes from 1/3 of a tank until it's all the way full. But another way to tell is that it will just start overflowing and sort of spilling out from underneath the van here. The tank readout is now showing full after a few minutes. And you don't have to rush to turn the water off, but if I sit here and wait a second, there is that overflow valve. Now that I know the tank is completely full, come over here, turn it off, wrap up the hose, and the living portion is set, ready to go. All right, so now we got the van cleaned, top to bottom, on the inside anyway. I got all of the bare necessity essentials in there. I always leave clothing in the van as well, so I always have at least a week's worth of clothing in there. That way if I want to hit the road and just go, I got that in there. That's one thing that I kind of skipped over. But other than that, I got all of the living essentials out of the way. So we are topped off with water. We have emptied all the tanks that need to be emptied. It's full of power. Still got sun out here, so it's charging with the solar as we speak. The only other thing that I would really need to do is maintain the actual Sprinter van, the chassis. Right now, everything is set and good to go, but in probably about 5,000 miles, I will end up going through an oil change. Maybe I'll document that, maybe not. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do there yet. And then of course, diesel exhaust fluid, super annoying. There are deletes and I know all that stuff, but I'm just filling it up as I go. And it honestly has not been that bad. I'm filling it up every probably 5,000 miles or so. And then as far as other maintenance goes, there really isn't a whole lot to it. Oil changes, brakes and tires, and I won't be crossing those bridges anytime soon. So now the SATvan is set and ready to rock. The only thing that I really have to do is decide what I'm bringing with me on this trip as far as camera equipment goes, if I want anything extra, like an extra one wheel or skateboard, or if I'm doing anything in water. I got to fill up that whole cargo area with whatever else I want to bring with me, and of course I'm going to be bringing you guys along on this next trip, so stay tuned for that, coming to the channel probably early next week. If you guys have any questions on some van specific things that I went over here today, let me know in the comments down below and I will try to answer them. I'm not an expert in this field. However, it's really not that hard to keep something like this maintained and road ready at all times. You guys can keep up with the journey of where I'm at real time over on my Instagram. If you see me posting stories, that stuff has happened within the 24 hours of you watching it. So that's a good way to stay up to date with where the SATvan is at. And if you are new to the channel, consider clicking subscribe because I make new videos every week and there's a lot more coming soon. That's all that I got for now. So as always, thank you guys for watching and I will talk to you in the next one.